I'm not an active Etsy seller, so we're going to talk about how other shops are succeeding at selling on Etsy. So I'll get started. So just a brief discussion. I thought I would ask both of you what prompted you to sign up today. You can either vocalize your answers, you can put them in the chat. Okay, well, we'll circle back to that. So this class will cover what is Etsy and why sell on Etsy. We'll go through how to set up your shop, and we'll take a look at some successful Etsy shops and take a look at marketing and some requirements for business owners in the state of Illinois. So what is Etsy? Etsy is a global online marketplace of independent sellers that offer homemade, vintage, and unique items. Unlike other marketplaces, Etsy is not centralized, it's decentralized, and each seller is in charge of their own inventory and in charge of their own shipping, which can make it a little bit easier than trying to play the game with selling on Amazon. So why sell on Etsy? There's a large community of buyers. There's almost 32 million active buyers on Etsy. Compared to the buyers, the number of sellers at just a little over 2 million is small. 2 million is a big number of buyers, so we'll talk about how to stand out on Etsy later. It has a thing, it has a niche, which is handcrafted, vintage, which Etsy defines as at least 20 years old, and unique items. There's lots of shops on Etsy that do customization, for example. There's less overhead and less steps to open than a traditional business. And the marketplace is secure, and it takes all online payment forms and can deposit directly into your bank account. And you don't need a bank loan or a business plan in order to sign up. So what does Etsy charge? Their fees are first a listing fee, which is 20 cents to publish a listing or to renew listing, and then listings are active for 4 months or until the item sells. A transaction fee on items. So when an item sells, Etsy charges a 5% transaction fee on the cost of that item and its related shipping prices. And then there's also a payment processing fee. When an item sells, 3% of the item price, and a 25-cent payment processing fee is deducted from the total of that sale. Questions on fees? So I believe the transaction fee is on the item, and then the payment processing fee is on the total. So if someone buys more than one item from you, they'd be multiple transaction fees, but only one payment processing fee, if that makes sense. All right, now we're going to look at setting up your shop. Here's kind of a quick overview of some of the steps. Just some things to note before you decide to sign up for your shop. You do have some decisions to make, which you may or may not have already made. So what should the shop be named? What kind of products will you sell in what category? Are these products ready for sale? And if not, you won't be able to open your shop. How will shoppers receive the products they purchased from you? Etsy does have shipping labels that you can print out in the back end of your Etsy seller's account, but also think about how you're going to package them and how quickly you're able to mail them. And then what the going rate is for similar products on Etsy, which is a key thing to look at in deciding what price point you will sell your item at. So in order to post a listing, you'll need to have photos and also decide on your price. So when you add a listing, you will need to add several photos of it. These photos should be professional looking. They should be well lit, evenly lit with a clean background and no shadows. And you should intentionally stage these items when you are taking the photos, and make sure that you're photographing the items from multiple angles and then allow shoppers to understand the size of the product from these photos. So you'll need to have additional details to add in the description for your item when you post it, which is required in order to sign up for a seller's account. So how will they be customized if you're going to offer customization on an item? The item's height, width, and size, and depth, the materials that the product is made out of, where it's made, and how many of the item do you have for sale. And then you'll want to think about also your shop policies and how you're going to ship and where you're going to store your items. So now that we've kind of thought through this just a little bit, you can create your account. So you do that by going to Etsy.com, and then in the top right, you click on sign in and then register. You can either fill out the form by putting in your email address and your first name and a password to click register, or you can click on continue with Facebook or continue with Google if you would like to just connect those accounts in order to sign in to your Etsy account. So once signed in and you have your account, you just click on Shop Manager in the top right corner in order to get logged in. So the first step is to choose your shop preferences. So if you're going to be selling full-time or part-time and going full-time, or not sure, or if you're only part-time and you're planning on staying part-time. You can choose your language, the country that you're selling from, and then the currency that you would like to sell in. Next, you name your shop. Your shop needs to be at least 4 characters and then a maximum of 20 characters. And these cannot have special characters or spaces in them. So if your shop name has multiple words, people usually capitalize the first letter in the word so that it's a little bit more readable. So then you see this not available button right here. You want that to be green, and it'll say available, and you just type in your shop name and then click on check availability, and you can see whether or not your shop name is available. Each shop name in Etsy does need to be unique. So next, you add your listing. Just click on this little blue plus to add your listing. And this is where you add your photos. And then you can add the details. So give your item a name, say who made it, what is it, where was it made, what category of item is it in. Would you like the item listing to renew automatically, or would you like to renew the listing manually yourself? And then you can choose if it's a physical or digital item, and then you would put in the physical descriptions, height, weight, size, etc., into the listing. You can add a production partner if someone is helping you make and produce these items. And then the next is sections. So this will make a little bit more sense when we start looking at active Etsy sellers. But a section of your shop would be like different categories of the items that you have in your shops. So you could choose, banners, and then you could choose gifts, etc. So you could choose click on add your first section, and then put in the name, and then that item will go into that section, so that if you have the 10 recommended minimum items in your shop, you can put those 10 items into categories within your shop and kind of keep it organized, especially if you have a diversity of items that you're selling. And then next is tags. I'll talk about tagging in just a few minutes. But you get 13 of them, and you should use all 13 of them. And then down below that it says materials, and you should put in also as many material tags as you can. And I'll talk about some best practices later. But this helps with search engine optimization. And since the bulk of work on Etsy is admittedly marketing your shop, this is super important. So now that you've decided that, you can choose your price, say the number of items of the quantity of this listing that you have. If you want to put in a SKU, you can, and then you can say if you would like to allow customers to ask you to restock a specific item or not. All right, the next step is to decide how you'll get paid. So here you can put in your bank account, or you can put in a credit card account, Apple Pay, Google Pay, PayPal, etc. And then you decide how you would like to pay Etsy the fees. So this option is a credit card. So they will initially charge you the 20 cents per listing that you post on the following Monday of the next month. So if you posted it today, you wouldn't be charged until Monday, you wouldn't be charged until Monday, September 7th. Does that make sense? I got ahead of myself. Next, after you've chosen how you would like to pay Etsy the fee, you can tell Etsy a little bit more about yourself with your first and last name, date of birth, address, state, zip code, city, phone number, just so that they are able to verify your identity and contact you. Also, the last 4 digits of your social. So this is not public information. It's private information for Etsy. And then that's it. Once you get through all those steps, your shop is posted. So you can fill out your shop page with any of these or a mixture of them. I recommend at least like a profile photo and like a shop tagline, maybe some social media links, a description, and publishing your shop policies. You can also choose listings to feature, and then add any information if you have a shop in real life that they can come to. And then you can also fill in your profile, which is separate than your shop profile. And this is just, your name, profile, city, blurb. You don't have to put your city if you don't want to. And then you can also go through Etsy and like favorite stuff or favorite other shops that you personally like, which your shoppers might be interested in. After they purchase from your shop, they might be interested in seeing what other things you're interested in. All right, and then this is kind of a quick view of the Etsy dashboard. This is obviously very minimal. This is what it looks like right after you open your shop. But you can see here there's orders and shipping. That's where you can print those shipping labels. You can see stats on how your shop is doing in terms of hits, see your listings and manage them, and then see any messages. You'll want to respond to messages as quickly as possible because on your Etsy shop, they'll see like a little picture of like you on your profile that's separate from your shop with this person responds in, a few hours or a few days, etc. So you want that to be as quick as possible. So do we have any questions about signing up or Etsy fees or anything I've just covered? Okay, we're going to take a look at some successful shops. I'm just going to pull up their page real quick and then I'll share my screen separate from the PowerPoint. sorry, I was just typing. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to share different screen. Okay, so you should all be able to see the lettering studio. So you can see that this shop has a rating of 5 stars. They've done almost 11,000 sales. They've been on Etsy for 6 years now. They're located in Canada. They've got a nice little photo here with their name. And they say buyers are raving. She's got multiple 5-star reviews in the past 7 days. So if I scroll down, here's a look at some of her item listings. And then over here on the left, when I was talking about sections earlier, these are her sections. So if I click on hangers, this shows all the hangers that she customizes. Or if I click on globes, this is a look at all the globes that she customizes. So she has a lot of listings. And as I mentioned earlier, Etsy recommends that you have at least 10 listings at a time. So she doesn't have much of a description, but let me just go ahead and click on one of her listings here. So you can see that it's in stock. You can select your option. You would like black text or gold text. And then would you like a signing marker? Yes, no. And then she asks you enter in the text to be personalized on the globe. And then if you learn more about this item, she's got a long kind of description. So if you're going to have like a customized item, you want to make sure that you have a nice hefty description. So she's got the dimensions, and then some links where the globe, a larger 12-inch or a larger 10-inch globe can be purchased if they're actually interested in that one. This one is the 8-inch. You can kind of tell, it's kind of hard to tell what the actual dimension is, but she kind of has it on the table and with a couch behind it, so you can kind of see what it might look like. Here are her photos. Again, they're well lit. They don't have shadows. Nice, even, professional looking photograph. And you can look at it from multiple angles. So information on policies, for example, maximum 15 words allowed. Estimated delivery expectations, ready to ship in 3 to 5 business days, where it's coming from, and then some shop policies. And then you see FAQs here. You can meet your seller, and then it says down here, it usually responds within a few hours. And so she's got lots of 5-star reviews. So that's an example of a listing. Go back to her page and then click on her page. So she's got a few items that she favorited, a couple other shops that she favorited. So I'll go back to the lettering studio. So she also has her own website. So this is her website, and she also sells on her website. She has a blog that she writes. You can see her FAQs. You click on About. I believe that she used to do events, but I imagine in the COVID world, she has probably stopped doing that. But here is information about her on-site calligraphy events that she does in Canada, along with the price that she charges for that. You can also contact her on her website. And then we can take a look at her Facebook and Pinterest and Instagram. There's also an email there. So she is on Instagram. You can see she has 4,500 followers. Here's kind of what it looks like. You see, like, you know, products that she sells on Etsy for customization. And this is her Facebook. She's got a nice cover photo, nice profile photo. And she talks about here the events that she does. And then here is her Pinterest. So that's the first one. The next seller that we will look at is Beauty by Starlet. Okay, so this is Beauty by Starlet. She's also been on since 2014, has almost 5,000 sales, and has 5-star reviews. So she does stencils and stickers. So she doesn't have as many categories. She's got planning decor. So she specializes in bullet journals. So she's got an announcement here. And lots of good reviews. So we'll look at an item listing. So she's selling this for $5. And down here you see the description, dimensions, ready to ship in 2 to 3 weeks. And down here it says seller responds in a few hours. Look at her page. Here's her description. She's on Instagram. All right, here she is. So here's her Instagram of the stencils that she uses, and some personal photos of her family. I believe that she is on YouTube too. So let's take a look at that. Here is her YouTube channel. So she does videos of like how to use her stencils. So that's the second one. Does anyone have any questions so far that I can go over? Okay, well there's 2 more that I was going to go over. You can kind of see them in the slides. The next, I'll go over them briefly. The next one is banner color. Banner seller, sorry. So she has a very specific shop. You see she's been on since 2012, 5-star reviews, almost 6,000 sales in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So she specifically does banners. She's separated out the different banners that she can do, wedding, Thanksgiving, graduation. Let's click on the listing. This is a nurse graduation decoration. So you can choose the length of the banner. font color. And details here. You can see other people's photos of her banners along with views. She's got a very long description of her banners with all of the details that you could possibly want. It says how long it ships within. All banners ship within 1 to 3 business days. It says down here 2 to 4. And then you see her profile here, and then it says that she usually responds within a few hours. So she doesn't have as much of a social media presence as some of the others do. Here's a description for her personal page. And then the last one I'll talk about is Do Take It Personally. She actually also sells on Amazon in addition to selling on Etsy. So she's got a big cover photo and a nice photo representative of the product that she has as her profile picture. It says her location. She has a whole bunch of sections too. So you can click on a couple of mug sets or coffee in teacups, hobby mugs or job mugs. So a lot of the categories are similar. They're kind of all around mugs, but they're for different occasions. If I scroll up, I can look on her profile on Etsy. So let's take a look at her Amazon shop. She sells on Amazon Homemade. So this is her shop here. These kitchen towels on her Amazon. I'm going to go find her website. She has a website as well. Let's see if I can find her website from her Etsy shop. She might have taken it off. There's her Facebook page. Just kind of cute little photos. She has a video here. I'll click on About. And then here is her website. So you can click on some collections. Click on Shop. So I click on one of her listings on her website. It looks like you can buy it on her website too. And then I can click on About Us. And then we can take a look at her Instagram. She's got a nice long description, shows a lot of personality. And then here's her Instagram. She's got 500 followers and does cute little photos to kind of publicize her products. So that's a quick overview of the some successful sellers. Do either of you have a question or a comment? All right. So let me get back to the slide that we were at. So next we'll talk about marketing. Let's give my slides a second. So the thing about Etsy is that you're going to have to do a lot of marketing. Most of the people that you're going to get to go to your shop, you'll have a hand in reaching through other social media, such as Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, or Pinterest. A lot of people sign up for Etsy and they think their item's really unique, and then they get on Etsy and they realize that there's a lot of other people that are already selling something similar. So you have to find a way to stand out. So as I mentioned, some of the shops that were successful had a second place that they were selling, such as either their own website or on Amazon. And then if you can link from your website, from your social media pages to your Etsy shop. So tips for success. Use your hashtags. You get 13 of them, you want to use all of them. When you're using your hashtags, consider using hashtags such as alternate ways of naming what your product is. For example, someone might call your product a different word if they're from a different region than you would. Or consider natural diamond ring instead of diamond ring, or blue diamond ring, because there's a ton of diamond rings out there, and there's many future natural diamond rings or many future blue diamond rings, for example. You can also check your site stats to see what keywords are most effective in getting people to click on your products, and then you can use those keywords in all of your listings. And then your tags can also have multiple words in them. It's not just a single word tag. You can have up to 20 characters in one tag. So think about how you would use all of those characters. Regarding social media, you'll want your social media to be separate so that you can kind of focus on your product line on social media and really show that off and kind of show what you have to offer. And then you're going to want to, build that following by posting regularly. Excellent customer service is a must on Etsy. Etsy does close shops that get poor reviews or don't meet the demand of the client's expectation as to when an item was supposed to ship. You also want to have more than one item for sale. As I've said a few times, Etsy recommends 10 items for sale at any given time, having professional level photos, and filling out your profile. If your shop turns a profit, it's a business, not a hobby. So Illinois does require shops online to collect sales tax after a certain level of interactions, which is 200 transactions within the previous 4 years, or $100,000 in gross receipts. So most Etsy shops are independently run sole proprietorships in which owners report their income on their own personal tax returns. And most don't require business licenses, so that's one less thing you have to worry about. So consider speaking with a tax accountant or a lawyer. If you have additional questions, you can view the Etsy Seller Handbook. They've got an excellent community of sellers and a really thorough handbook with all the questions you could possibly imagine dealt with in this Seller Handbook, and that's the link right there. I will copy and paste into the chat. Is there anything else I can answer for you? Any lingering questions? Well, if not, I just want to thank you for coming. And just a reminder that the library is actually open now. We're open from 11 to 7 Monday through Thursday, and 11 to 6 on Fridays, and 11 to 5 on Saturdays for 1 hour use at a time. You can schedule time in the Media Lab, or you can browse the shelves, or you can use the computer for an hour. And we are going to be doing our fall events virtually, and that newsletter for the fall should be coming out probably in like maybe 2 or 3 weeks. So definitely take a look out for that. If you have any college students, we're doing a couple programs at the end of August on paying for college. Thank you for coming. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I haven't heard anything about the cookbook club. But I know that's a fun one.